what's next. And that is where NATO 3.0 comes in. This is the new NATO, the NATO that was born at the last summit of NATO leaders in Lisbon. And it has two fundamental characteristics. One is it is an alliance that is focused on operations. It is an operative alliance. Last year, there were 6 NATO operations on 3 continents. Of course, we know about the operation in Afghanistan, which is still ongoing, and I'll say something more in a minute about that. But we also have a major operation in the Gulf of Aden and the Arabian Sea to counter terrorism, piracy. We have a continuing operation in the Balkans, which is where we started in the 1990s to have a NATO role. We continue to have a role for NATO in the Balkans to help stabilize that. We have a counter-terrorism operation in the Mediterranean. We had, until the end of last year, a training mission in Iraq. And of course, for 7 months last year, during Operation Unified Protector, NATO was in charge of protecting civilians in Libya. This is the new NATO. It's a NATO that is engaged in operations. But secondly, it's not only an operative alliance, it has also become a hub for global security. In Afghanistan, we have not just 28 NATO countries that are involved, but 22 non-NATO countries, 50 in all, that are providing military capability in order to help the Afghans to secure their own future. In the Gulf of Aden and the Arabian Sea, NATO is the anchor that brings together 19 other countries plus the European Union to counter piracy. In Libya, we were the instrument of the international community to make sure that there was a protection for the civilians who were being attacked in a brutal fashion by the Gaddafi dictatorship. NATO became, and others were part of that organization. NATO is not just about the security of Europe and in Europe, but is increasingly seen as the hub of a global network of security.